Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be part 2 to my story. I've already started, I'm going to gently hold it up here. I started with the diamond art. I don't know if you can see the little gems sparkling, but we're going to finish doing this section while I talk the rest of the story. I'm just going to turn you guys a little bit. Those are my daughter's birthday presents from my mom. And then here. Okay. So, me and Ash ended up having more time together. We started talking more, getting to know each other more, learning more about each other. Now, sadly, in this moment, Ashley was heavy into alcoholism. I call him Ash for short. That's just what I've always called him, Ash. So Ash was drinking pretty heavily. He was a really bad alcoholic at that point when we first met, and things started kind of leaning into a relationship. So after Ash and I started having time alone in his hotel room, Justin didn't like that. Justin didn't like that I was with somebody else and that me and him were no longer a thing, because he made me believe for years, and I mean for years, you guys, he made me feel for years that nobody would ever want me other than him, but he never treated me that way either. So from June of 2020 into January, December, no, it was January. Justin had been causing some serious issues in the hotel room, or in the hotel for Ash. And there was one day that Ash and I were hanging out, and we were getting a little handsy, if you know what I mean. And then he was smoking vapes at that point, and he wasn't allowed to smoke the vape pen in the hotel room. So he wanted to go outside and smoke. So we were walking to the lobby of the hotel, and Justin and his father were sitting in the lobby, and Ash and I were talking to each other, and Ash had said, "Man, what a pussy." And we were just talking to each other, and to be honest, Justin is a pussy, and yeah, no. And he didn't like what had happened, what Ash and I were talking about. So before I knew it, Justin had started running our way. Me and Ash were holding hands, walking to the exit. And Justin had decided to run up on Ash and start repeatedly punching him in the head. Now, this hotel that they were both staying at is a no violence policy whatsoever. If you are found committing violent acts, you will be asked to leave the premises. And Ash, at the time, had no other place to live, and he was making sure he wasn't going to get the one that was going to get kicked out. So he let Justin punch him in the head repeatedly. And then before I know it, Justin's dad starts looking at me. And I raise my hands, I back up, and I'm like, hey, don't look at me because I didn't fucking do it. So before I know it, Justin and his family were asked to leave because of repeatedly punching another resident in the head. Cops were called, a whole thing was dealt with. Well, at some point between January and February, Ash was in a financial predicament, mostly due to his drinking habits at the time. And he didn't like his drinking habits. He didn't like what he was doing to himself. But if you or anyone you know who is addicted to alcohol and is an alcoholic, you know that these people cannot stop drinking on their own. It could literally kill them. So at some point, Ash ended up moving in with me and my mom and my daughter. Now, he was still drinking in my home, but I had told him that if he didn't go and get clean and never drink again, that him and I were more than likely going to split up and that he was going to have to leave and find a new place to stay. But at this point, he had learned that he really, really had strong feelings for me. He was actually in love with me at this point. And he still is in love with me to this day. But sometime in February, he had enrolled himself in a rehab facility. And he went to rehab. He got completely taken off of alcohol. He has not had any since. But unfortunately, with all of the drinking that he had done over the years, and all the excessive drinking that he was doing for several years before I even met him, he had caused a lot of damage to his body. And all of the drinking, all the alcohol ended up giving him, ended up giving him epilepsy. How does that happen? I don't know. I wish I knew, but I don't know. All I know is he had epilepsy. He was having seizures. In the beginning, they weren't forever. They weren't all the time. And then over a certain amount of time, he ended up having the seizures all the time. Now, before, he wasn't able to work due to the drinking. So he didn't have a job because of that. He had lost his mother lost his mother the same month, same year that I lost my father, which I thought was very odd. And once he came back from rehab, he immediately started looking for a job. He ended up getting a job, and then all of a sudden he started having more and more seizures. And then over time, he had to stop one job because of a seizure, and then he got hired at a gas station job, and then he had another seizure and damn near died because he had fallen into the safe, which could have killed him instantly, but it didn't, thankfully. And Then he was unable to work. Then we started working on getting him Social Security, which if anybody knows how hard it is to get Social Security, you know, it was a battle. Many denial letters, and then he was finally accepted. He didn't have to worry about not having money come into the home. But the one thing he did when he first moved in, he looked at me the second he walked in the door. He says, "What do we need in this house?" I said, "We need diapers and cat food." This man says, "Done." Okay, you don't have to. He says, "No, I do. It's my responsibility now." This man walked into my home, didn't know that much about my daughter, and this man took the role instantly. That's a man. That's a real man. And ever since he had met my daughter, he's grown to love her and cherish her, and he hates that Justin has contributed to her being here, that he wishes that my daughter had his DNA. He's like, "I will remove his and I will add mine, and she'll be fully mine. We won't have to worry about it." I'm like, it don't work that way, unfortunately. But this man loves our daughter. And I say that now. He is my daughter's father. He may not have contributed to her genetically, but it's not blood that makes a father. It's a man who is willing to step up and be there in every way possible. Somebody who is willing to put in the work, willing to do it. So, after he got on Social Security, his epilepsy ended up getting really bad. It was so bad that unfortunately I had to start thinking about whether or not putting him in a nursing home was a possibility. Now, I do know that in Ohio, you can put somebody you are not legally married to into a nursing home. You just have to be their POA, which is power of attorney. You have to have legal documentation stating that you have the authority to do it. And at that point, there wouldn't have been an issue for me to get it. So, for 3 years, my fiance was dealing with epilepsy due to his alcoholism. And then on August 28th, of either 2023 or 2024, my fiance was waking up to go to a mental health group meeting to help him work through some things he wasn't able to work through before. And he was getting ready, and this is how he describes it, and I believe him 100% on this. He was brushing his teeth, and he needed mouthwash. And he says, this is what he says. He says, "I don't even remember. The last thing I remember was I was grabbing the bottle to put some of the liquid in my mouth to swish it around and spit. After that, he doesn't remember anything else." He ended up, and he also says that it was like he had no control over his body. It was like he wasn't fully there or in control. He ended up drinking. Now this bottle of mouthwash was almost full. It was over half full. And this hold on a second. I gotta put this one last diamond down. This bottle of mouthwash was about this big, you guys. Okay? And there was probably that much taken out of the bottle. So it was that much empty from the top. By the time he was done, there was probably that much left. I ended up waking up because I heard a thud. And like I said, at this point, he had already been dealing with the epilepsy for at least 2.5 years. No, he had been dealing with it for about 3 years at that point, sorry. And I woke up to a thud, and I knew I had to get up because I heard the thud. I'm like, you better get up. He's probably on the floor having a seizure. Because at this point, you guys, he was having them several times a day. Double digits times a day. And he was on the floor. He was having a seizure. And after the seizure and the way he was slurring his words, something wasn't right. And I knew it wasn't right. And I called 911. I called an ambulance. They came. They got him on the stretcher. They took him to the Medina Hospital. When I went to the hospital, because I had to take my daughter to school. After I took my daughter to school, I had to hurry to the hospital. I got to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, the doctors had told me he was 3 times the legal limit intoxicated. And I'm like, huh? What are you talking? He's not drunk. What are you talking about? Because there was no beer. There was no liquor. There was no alcohol in the house whatsoever. And I started messaging my mom, telling her what's going on. And that's when she started going on a hunt. And that's when my mom discovered the mouthwash. So my fiance had that little incident. And because of that little incident, my fiance has not had a seizure since. Knock on wood. Sorry if you can't tell. I'm like, all right. He has not had a seizure since. He has been seizure-free ever since that. He has been at a job for over a year. He's about to be going on his second. Wait. He just had his 1-year anniversary at this job. He's on his 2nd year now, and his 2nd year is already almost over. He is about to start LPN classes at Lorain Community College here in February. Right now, he's got some classes he can take online for this degree to get it done. And he starts those classes next Monday. And he is so excited. Now, me and my fiance are wanting to get married very soon. I think because of what's going on with my mom, that I would like to get married a lot sooner than I anticipated, because the thought of my mom, sorry, I'm trying not to cry. The thought of my mom not being there for my wedding to be making those memories is actually very scary. Because I already have to remember that my dad won't be there, which is also a very sad thought, because, I mean, when you're growing up, what do you think about as a little girl? Your dad's gonna walk you down the aisle for your wedding day. And unfortunately, my dad will not be there for that. So that's a very hard thing to think about. It makes me angry. I'm not angry at my dad. I'm just angry at the universe, because that's how things played out. So I will be planning a way to get married to my fiance sooner. Maybe this October even, because we originally wanted to get married around Halloween. But I have a couple things I've got to do before I could possibly set that up. For one thing, we have a family friend who could marry us. And I would probably message her. And see if she's available, and then find out how much she charges, because she wouldn't really charge that much. So I need to message her and find out. I already have my wedding dress picked out. There are a few other things that need to be handled and taken care of. I have to put aside some money to get the marriage license. And then I've got to have a few other things set up. But I would like to, I don't want to have any regrets. I'm already sad that my dad can't be there. And unfortunately, my dad wasn't alive when me and my fiance Ash met. So he's never met him. He's just seen him in pictures. So, and the thing is if me and Ash get married, like say me and him get married this October, okay, in a couple months. Say I get married in a couple months. From the date me and him get married until our first wedding anniversary is the time period. So 1 whole year. We have to wait 1 whole year before I could go to an attorney and start a legal process to strip Justin of his rights, because with all due respect, the man doesn't deserve it. He don't. I'm sorry. There are other things apart from the abuse that I went through with him versus things that were happening to my kid on his and his family's part that I did not know about. And the interesting thing is Justin passes my house. Okay, so when me and him split up, I was living in a different county. I was living in a small little town called Chippewa Lake. I have since moved from there. And Justin knows that I've moved from there. And now he passes my house whenever he feels like it. His girlfriend has messaged me trying to call me out. And for one thing, I did not take the bait. I'm not getting in any legal trouble due to their stupidity. But the second me and Ash have been married for a whole year, we will be able to go to an attorney, strip Justin of his parental rights, and then Ash can legally adopt my daughter as his own, even though he already says that she's his daughter. So we just need it legalized. So that's pretty much it. Me and Ash have been together for 5 years, going on 6 years. This year will be the 6th year we've been together. My daughter is about to be 9 years old. Ash is the only father that she really knows. My daughter is actually scared to death of Justin, which is actually pretty sad. But what can you do about it? Nothing really. He's done things and caused things to make her feel that way. And we don't need him in our lives. So now we just have to wait for that 1 year mark. And then I will be going through court. And my only concern is my county that I live in, because I have tried to take him to court before and make sure I had full custody because of all the times that him and his family have threatened to take her. Oh shit, I gotta look at the time. Oh, I gotta go up here soon, you guys. My daughter's gonna get off the school bus here soon. Sorry, I don't remember what I was just saying. So we will be going to court, but sorry, I remember now. My county I live in, the last time I went to court, because I did try before, they prefer that the father has visitation. They don't like the idea of children not being with biological parents. I will be fighting that tooth and nail. And if I ever I feel like if I ever, because the thing is if they told me I had to send my kid to his house, it would be over my dead body, because it sure as hell won't be over her dead body, because they would literally kill her. She would end up dead somehow, and that will not happen on my watch, ever. I will run and I will hide. And you'll never find me. You will never find me. But I doubt with the lawyer I plan to use, and I doubt with the file I have and the evidence I have, I doubt they will ever let him anywhere near her. If anything, he might end up in prison. I don't know. But the only other thing that is a little bit frustrating is we get married in October. I'm planning to try and get pregnant in January, which means if I get pregnant in January, the baby will be due in October. So I really don't like the idea of having to deal with stuff like this while pregnant or with newborn, but I don't care what I have to do, whatever I have to do to keep my daughter safe and to make sure that legally that man has nothing to do with her ever again. So with all that being said, you guys, that is the end of my story time. I'm so sorry it was such a long story. I do apologize, but I'm trying to do these story times in pretty decent detail because I want you guys to to get to know me a little bit better. I want you guys to kind of see some of the stuff that I've been through, to maybe give you guys an idea of why I am the person I am today. So with that, please, you guys, comment, like, subscribe, send these videos to whoever you feel like might need. Send these videos to whoever you think might need them, whoever you feel will benefit from them. Please let me know in the comments if you guys think I should do a YouTube live. And I will see you guys for my next video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.